Stephen Hargis, the writer for the Chattanooga Times Free Press, joins us on the phone. Steve was at the South Pittsburgh game tonight, and a little cool air tonight, right, Steve?
Yeah, it was with the wind blowing. It was just a little bit chilly out there, fella.
South Pittsburgh rarely loses playoff games at home, especially with Vic Grider on the sideline. And Columbia Academy really owned the second half in this one, didn't they?
Yeah, South Pittsburgh really never slowed down Columbia Academy's offense. I think they wound up, and especially the connection between Jacob Johnson, the quarterback. He was 13 of 13, and their really talented receiver, Taylor Thompson. He had 9 catches for 147 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and ran for a touchdown also. They really had no answer for those two guys. They just Columbia Academy had 8 possessions or 9 possessions and scored 8 of them. The only one that they didn't score was when they were taking a knee to run out the clock at the end. They were just a very, very talented offense, and for the first half, South Pitt was able to stay with them, match them score for score, and then once they got held and were down by 2 scores and playing catch-up, that was pretty much the ball game.
Dennis Weaver, Josh Peterson here on the Friday Night Thunder Scoreboard Show. We're talking to Steve Hargis, the prep editor for the Chattanooga Times Free Press, here on the Friday Night Thunder Scoreboard Show.
Other games in your area tonight, Steve, you had Marion County picks up a win tonight. Surprise there? You think that's about how it was supposed to go?
Yeah, they had already beaten Tyner earlier this year, so I think everybody just figured that's what was going to happen again. Marion's a very talented team. Tyner had gotten healthy here lately to get this far, but just didn't think they were going to be able to match up with Marion.
But Ray County over Ottawa, did you think that was going to happen?
That was a little bit of a surprise. I covered the first time those two teams played, and the Ottawa defense scored 9. They scored a touchdown and a safety, had 9 points, and also set up the offense's only touchdown with a turnover. And, of course, Ottawa played the game without Jeremiah Johnson, who had been a Mr. Football finalist and was, of course, suspended for the game for an arrest. He was arrested earlier this week for a domestic assault charge. And so they sat him. He didn't play at all. And, it sounded like certainly that made a difference. They lost by a point. Sounds like they missed an extra point there at the very end. So knew that was going to be a close one either way just because of the way the first game was played. And it sounds like, Ray County's starting to really play well at the right time.
Steve, I know that you stay busy even without even with this time of year with basketball, of UTC and everything else. Have you looked ahead to next week? What you might be doing and what game you might be covering next week?
I may be going to Notre Dame and Alcoa next week. That should be a fun one. I know they met last year in the semifinals as well, and Alcoa built a big lead. Notre Dame rallied late, fell short, so they're going to meet up again in the semifinals. So just looking ahead, off the top of my head, that's probably where I would go.
All right, Steve. I know that you're real busy. I hope you got your story in on time.
Yeah, we're good to go, man. I'm going to head to the house and eat a bite now.
All right, sounds good. And as skinny as you are, you need to eat 2 bites, I think.
Appreciate it, guys.
We'll talk to you again. Stephen Hargis of the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
He does good work.
Yeah, he does great work. He does absolutely stupendous work. It's he had that story about the South Pittsburgh player, remember, that was staying in the press box.
Well, yeah.
The homeless kid a couple years ago.
Not just the game stories. He does the stories.
And
anybody can write a game story.
Yeah, and he did the story. He did the story. Maybe it was last year before last, about how that not going to a game saved his dad's life, or going to a game saved his dad's life, and because he had a heart attack there at the game when there's medical people around, and that was it brought tears to my eyes. Hashtag onions is what I felt like.
Yeah, hashtag, that's nice. Like
it's something else.